Good morning, and I am here today on a very snowy day here at Goshen College. And they have just as much snow here as we do on the Greencroft campus, I'm just saying. So I am here with the president of Goshen College, and your name is?
My name is Rebecca Stoltzfus.
Okay.
If you meet me, feel free to call me Becky.
Becky? Okay, alrighty. Just call her Becky or Rebecca, nothing else, right? Do we call you president or?
If you'd like to.
Okay. So you're fairly new to the campus, is that correct?
I am. I started on November 1.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah, 3 months.
Okay. Now, where were you prior to that?
We moved to Goshen from Ithaca, New York, and we lived there for the past 15 years,
Mhm.
and I worked at Cornell University.
Okay, awesome. So now, where did you study?
Well, I was a student here at Goshen.
Okay.
So I'm a Goshen College alum.
I wondered about that.
I graduated in 1983.
Mhm.
I did a lot of things at Goshen, but ended up with a major in chemistry
Okay.
and worked here in Goshen for a few years in a biotech startup company. So I was hired to do chemistry and to do bench research in a small research and development laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
And I should also say that I met and married my husband, Kevin Miller,
Mm-hmm.
during our Goshen years.
Okay.
And he was a biology major and a nursing major, and I know he spent some of his nursing training and experience at Greencroft.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, there's a few Kevin Millers around town, aren't there?
Yeah,
How do you know
indeed.
you've got the right one now?
Well, I kind of recognize him by now.
Okay.
But we have definitely returned back to the land of Millers,
Mm-hmm.
and to some extent the land of Stoltzfuses too.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to spell my name a little less often
Okay.
now
Sure.
than when I lived in Ithaca.
Right. Okay. Well, good. Well, this is all part of the Good of Goshen campaign, and we introduced this, I believe, last month. Well, no, actually 2 months ago, to our residents here, and that because Greencroft has become a partner with the Good of Goshen, and there are, I believe, there's more than 7. I don't know exactly how many, but there's quite a few partners in this whole organization, Good of Goshen. And the whole idea is to promote the good things that Goshen is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Goshen College is a big part of that, because you guys, land-wise, you've got a pretty big space here. But then you employ quite a few people, and you have students that work in town and live here and participate in things.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. Now, I understand that Goshen College was one of the first participants in the Good of Goshen.
Mhm.
So they realized right off the bat that this was something they wanted to be a part of, and that's great. Now, Greencroft and Goshen College do a lot of cooperation together, partly probably because we have a lot of alumni that live at Greencroft, and so I think that's a cool thing. A lot of them come back to where they went to college, and I think that's kind of a cool thing.
Mhm.
Now, you guys have something very exciting this week that some of our folks, I don't know, maybe they're going to come down here for this. There's this little thing called inauguration.
Yeah,
Is that right?
that is happening this week, and I'm really excited about it. And I would love for any of our friends and neighbors at Greencroft to come.
Mhm.
It's at 10 a.m. Come a little bit early. We expect there to be plenty of people.
Mhm.
But the inaugural service will start at 10 a.m. and
On which day?
on Saturday.
Saturday.
February 17, and you don't need a ticket or any RSVP. You're
Mhm.
just welcome to come and join in the celebration if you'd like to.
Okay. So, what type of thing will they do at the inauguration? I mean, Do you have to like recite the pledge of Goshen College or something? Or just teasing.
Really good question. I think the closest we come to that is singing the alma mater.
Okay.
Yes, and you can sing along, or you can just enjoy all the singing around you.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't give away all the secrets that are planned for the installation service, but I think it will feel festive. It will be an expression of the arts and academics at Goshen College, and
Mm-hmm.
and have a lot of participation from not only the college but other places that I have lived.
Okay. So now will that take place at the Music Center? Or?
Yes, in Souter Hall at the
In
Music
Souter.
Center.
Okay. Alrighty. That I remember when the Music Center was built, and I've been here long enough to remember that, and that is quite the center. I am always impressed with the caliber of musicians that are brought in and performers and whatnot. And Greencroft has actually had a few. We used to hold our annual gala down here, and we're part of bringing in some different performers and things like that. And I know that a lot of Greencroft residents enjoy coming down to the Music Center.
Yeah, well, I know that too, because I enjoy meeting people at our performing arts series and other events at the Music Center, our choir concerts and recitals, and many of the people that I'm learning to meet there are our neighbors from Greencroft. So I think for me, coming back to Goshen College as the president, it's thrilling to have the Music Center on our campus. It was not the case when I took piano lessons and was part of the choirs here. So yeah, it's really a thrill every time for me that I go to an event in Souter Hall or Wreath Recital Hall to feel the beauty of the place. But I would also say that it's our Goshen residents and our Greencroft neighbors that really help create the fine programming, because we offer programming and you buy the tickets, and together we make this happen.
Exactly.
And it's something that is I think has become a very special part of the Goshen community. And I didn't mention our Festival of Carols, which is a wonderful way to start.
Yeah, that was in the back of my
Christmas
mind.
season as well.
Yeah, that I'm going to talk about the Lifelong Learning Institute too. But you know, I was hoping you would say that you know, that Music Center wouldn't stay in place if it weren't for the Goshen residents.
Right.
Purchasing those tickets and coming and supporting those things. Are there other things on campus that Goshen residents support?
Well, we have the Humble Center, which is a very fine theater, and the productions that happen there are exciting. In our fall production, it was just amazing to me to see 18 and 19-year-old people create an amazing and moving production. So I'd encourage you to pay attention to the Humble Center and what's happening on stage there.
Okay.
There are also lectures. This week on Tuesday evening, there is our Peace Oratorical Lecture Competition. And so I think there are 5 students, maybe around that, 4 to 6 students who will be each presenting an essay about peace. And one of them or more of them will win an award based on the judges. So that is also open to the public and fascinating to come to.
Okay.
We have science lectures as well.
Okay. Something dear to your heart, science
Indeed.
lectures.
In fact, I think I'm giving one later this spring.
Okay. So how can folks find out about what they can take part in on the Goshen College campus?
Well, that's a great question, and I just wanted to add one more thing, not to forget, which is our athletic events.
Oh, sure.
So I know that our parents and our student athletes and our whole community really enjoys it when Greencroft neighbors and residents come and join us cheering on our basketball teams or soccer teams or volleyball teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. So can they go to the website?
Yes, absolutely. On the website, just look for events and a whole calendar will come up. If you're particularly interested in music, there's you can click straight to the Music Center and the events going on in the Music Center. But the events calendar will give you everything from sports to lectures to art galleries to the music.
Okay. All right. So you guys have art gallery in the
In the music center.
Music Center.
Yeah, we do.
I just blanked where I was
Yes.
going.
It happens.
So, yes.
So the Hirschberger Gallery is
Mhm.
in the music center, and it doesn't house a permanent collection.
Mm-hmm.
It is a changing set of collections.
Mhm.
So keep coming back
Okay.
because you'll find different things.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have some collections in the library.
Oh,
In the basement. One new permanent collection that was recently created was the Catherine Eshelman Peace Education Collection, which
Mhm.
focuses on her methods and philosophy and resources for teaching peace to children.
Okay. All right. What about the library? Is that something that folks that aren't on campus can get a card to take advantage of, or are alumni able to do that, or?
You are very welcome to use our library. You know, these days, it used to be that libraries were very much physical collections, and you would go and you'd have these cards and find
Mhm.
books. And libraries these days are getting more and more digital. I think
Mhm.
if you come into our library, you will find a library staff that is surprisingly young
Mhm.
and very innovative and very tech savvy, and they will be glad to help you find the resources that you're looking for.
Okay, that's just good to know. I mean, this is all part of being a good neighbor with each other, and all part of this whole initiative, the Good of Goshen, because we want to make Goshen, I mean, it has already become a very strong city and very inviting to entrepreneurs and young folks coming this way. But we've got a lot to offer as far as jobs go, and so we want to make sure people know all of the opportunities that are here. So.
Yeah. I was really thrilled and proud to learn about the Good of Goshen website, and
Mhm.
I discovered it years before I thought of returning here as an
Mhm.
employee or as president. But I think it's really exemplary. I had the opportunity to work with the Community Foundation of Tompkins County, which is where Ithaca is,
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about your website.
Really? Wow.
When I brought it to their attention, they said, "Yeah, we've seen that," and we're eyeing it as a terrific example. And to me, it's just an outstanding way to make connections,
Mhm.
make people aware of what's happening in the community, and to really lift up what we have to celebrate and feel grateful for,
Mm-hmm.
which seems especially important to me at this time when it feels like a lot of the news is not happy news.
Right. It's not very positive.
What we're hearing from our major news media. So I'm really glad that
Mhm.
there's this collective energy and creativity around telling the good stories about
Mhm.
Goshen.
Yes. And at the end of this interview today, I'm also going to tag on an interview that was done by IDART with one of our residents that is for the Good of Goshen.
Uh-huh.
And so that, just stay tuned after our interview, because that will be part of this whole segment. And just to remind everybody what is on that Good of Goshen website, and there's stories, but different videos, the restaurant guide, lodging guide, event calendar, destination information, relocation guide. Did you use that relocation guide, or did you just knew what you?
You know, I had enough family and social network. I think they were my relocation guide.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Business guide, school enrollment guide, travel directions, story submission portal. So if you do have a story that you want to share, you can go to that website, and it's really easy to navigate. So that's a good thing. So another thing I want to talk about a little bit is the lifelong learning initiative that we have, and that is a partnership between Goshen College and Greencroft, and Lifelong Learning Institute is actually way bigger than either of us. I used to think it was just some brainchild we had, but I found out it's way bigger than us. And so many of the former professors are presenters at Lifelong Learning, and I'm sure a lot of retired alumni that live in the Goshen area come to these, as well as Greencroft residents. We currently house I would say the majority of the lifelong learning classes on the Greencroft campus
Mhm.
in our auditorium,
Mhm.
just because it's
Easy to
handy
get to.
and
Yeah.
easy to get to, and so I think that's been a really nice thing for Greencroft residents, but also for Springbrook and Keystone and all of the residents that just live in right around Goshen or
Mhm.
Greencroft. And but we appreciate that Goshen College is willing to work with us on that. And one of your former professors, Mary Oyer, always does the Festival of Carols every year, and so she does the majority of the class there at Greencroft, and then they get to come and I think see the dress rehearsal of the Festival of Carols.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's something everybody looks forward to every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we have the Lifelong Learning Institute, and I hope that we can keep it strong and perhaps even experiment in some new ways about
Okay.
how to grow that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wondering whether Greencroft residents would be interested in more online offerings that they
Mhm.
could take a look at
Mm-hmm.
at whatever time of day is convenient for them, and
Mm-hmm.
wondering what topics would be most interesting to Greencroft residents. So
Mm-hmm.
eager to have conversations about that.
Yes, that's a very good idea. I don't know, are any of the classes here on campus, are they videoed currently? I mean, is it something that someone could, log on to a video series or something sometime?
Sometimes they are. What we are in the process of thinking through is how to make more academic offerings available to people who aren't interested in taking a course for credit or gaining a degree from Goshen College, but just want to experience some of the ideas and thinking and teaching that happens here on topics of interest.
Just
Stay
learning
tuned on that.
more,
Yeah. Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna circle back here to your position here as
Uh-huh.
as the president.
Uh-huh.
So what does the president do all day?
You
Is that a loaded question? Sorry.
One thing that's really kind of fun about this job is that no 2 days are alike.
Mm-hmm.
So a tremendous amount of variety.
Mm-hmm.
There are parts of the job that I was an administrator at Cornell University and a vice provost in charge of undergraduate education there of our student body of 14,000. So part of what I do here feels familiar to me as a higher ed administrator. There's a lot of meetings and thinking through issues and policies and strategies. But as president, one of the things that has been kind of delightfully surprising to me is how much of the work has to do with just being with people and being in relationship with people and building relationships. So that's fun. I think another surprise for me is how much of my work, at least these first 3 months, has been in asking good questions.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been certain situations where I find myself really giving a lot of deep thought to what is the question that needs to be asked around this, in ways that open people's minds and imagination and really invite participation in thinking about the future of Goshen College.
Mm-hmm. But you know what that says to me is that you are very open-minded and you're not here to reinvent the wheel, and you want to build on what is working, and that's good. That speaks a lot about you, that you don't feel like you have to make all new rules or make everything new. You want to build on what's already working and asking those right questions. So.
No, I came back to Goshen because I love Goshen College and I really believe in its mission. I have deep respect for the faculty and staff who work here, and I love the students. I think that there's a kind of warmth and creative edge to our student body that is special.
Mm-hmm.
And so really wanting to be a part of the future of Goshen College and, as you say, build on the past.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody who is committed to moving higher education forward in ways that really serve our communities and serve our youth in a time when a lot of questions are being asked about higher education. As a leader, this is just a terrific leadership opportunity to work with this institution in this community at this period of time to think about the way forward.
That's good.
It's a great privilege.
When you were a student here, did you have did you have any dreams of ever becoming the president?
Oh, heavens, no.
So that wasn't your ultimate goal?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, what was my goal? I think my goal was to enjoy college, enjoy my friends, have a good time.
Oh, absolutely.
I really enjoyed learning, so part of that enjoyment for me was definitely the academic piece here.
Mhm.
I feel like at Goshen College I learned how to make fine music, I learned how to write,
Mhm.
and I learned how to be a scientist. And those are things that have served me well throughout my life. But no, I left, as I said, I got a job right out of college that was related to my major, but I also felt a little bit bored with bench research, and so I wanted to do something that was more people-oriented. So went and got a master's degree and then a PhD in human nutrition, and that opened doors for me in science, but also in global development and travel and understanding the needs of the world and inequalities in the world.
Wow, human nutrition. Wow. Okay. I won't tell you what I just had for breakfast. No, I'm just teasing. How would you say, in the time when you were a student to today, how have students changed?
Well, times have changed. I often reflect, when I was a student, I did not worry a whit about whether I'd get a job. Now, and I don't think that was just because I was particularly naive or irresponsible. That just wasn't the question on our minds in the 70s and early 80s. I think the economy was different. We felt it just was a different feeling. These days, and maybe this is lingering anxiety after the 2008-2009 recession and high levels of unemployment, but students are much more oriented toward the job market and job preparation, and I think we need to support them in that. I think that students come to college having been much busier in high school than I ever was.
Sure.
I just had a lot more free time in high school than my children have had, or most of the students that come to Goshen College have had. They're working, they're in sports, they're doing a lot of time-consuming academic pursuits. So there's a busyness that I think characterizes this, and related to, I think this is a time in our nation when we are all experiencing some consternation and even anxiety about our society and about our place in it and about the future. Not only social issues, but climate issues and global issues. So I feel a sense of concern for the world in today's students, which has a different quality to it. It's not that I and my fellows were not concerned for the world, but there's a level of urgency to the concerns of this day that I think is characteristic of our students right now, and in many situations makes them feel anxious about their future, about the future of the planet.
And I think we've got a lot more information than we ever had 30 years ago. We didn't have this technology. We had a phone down the hall when we were in college. Now everybody carries one around with them, and the access to global news is so much more prevalent, and I think that's probably part of it.
Absolutely, and it's changed so fast that the faculty, who may be, our young faculty are probably 10, 15 years older than the students, but even in that period, they have a very different relationship with information and technology. So we have faculty and staff who are teaching our students across a really significant generational gap in their relationship to devices and technology and information. And that's a challenge for us. It's a challenge for everybody in higher education these days.
I would imagine. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Taking me back here, thinking back to college. Yeah, that's amazing.
College without an iPhone. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Well, hey, this has been great, and I think this, this corner of your world, we're on the other corner of Goshen College, or College Avenue, kind
Yeah.
of, but this is your corner on College Avenue, and it sounds like you guys are doing great things here, and are a very big part of Goshen, and it's all in the name, right? So.
It's an exciting time to be a part of Goshen College, and we are so glad to have Greencroft as our neighbor.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, and thanks for sitting down with me today. And I hope people enjoyed getting to know you a little bit better, and getting to know or getting to hear about things that they can get involved in, but also maybe helping them have a better understanding of what goes on here on campus. So,
Terrific. Yeah. Good.
thanks a
Hope
lot.
to see more of you.
Yes. And again, stay tuned. Just right after this interview, there will be a short, just 5-minute interview with a Greencroft resident, just talking about the good of Goshen. So thanks, and join us again next week on Campus Highlights.